What if the most excruciating moment of your life, the one that brought you to your knees, was secretly the beginning of your greatest strength? Most of us see pain as an enemy. It's a destructive force we're told to avoid, medicate, or just bury. We're biologically wired to feel this way. Your brain actually perceives emotional pain, like rejection or failure, in the same regions as a physical injury. So it's no wonder we run. But what if we're running from our greatest teacher? In this video, I'm going to break down the practical, step-by-step strategies to help you transform your deepest suffering into your most powerful asset. Stay with me, and you'll learn how to make your pain start serving you. Section 1. The pain paradox. Your body is sending a message. Let's be clear. Pain is real and it's valid. It demands to be noticed. But for so many people, that attention turns into a battle. We resent it, we fight it, and we build our lives around trying to avoid it. Consider an illustrative story, like that of a man we'll call Dan. His journey began with chronic back pain that just kept spreading, even after surgery and physical therapy. His world got smaller and smaller. He felt lost and isolated, and his identity became all about what he couldn't do anymore. His body was screaming a message, but all he could hear was the noise. He was at war with himself. What people like Dan eventually discover is a truth that science is finally catching up with. Pain isn't just a physical sensation. It's a complex signal shaped by our biology, our psychology, and even our social environment. It's a message. And often, that message is that old wounds, unprocessed stress, and deep-seated fears are finally boiling over. Your mind, in an attempt to shield you from emotional turmoil, can manifest that turmoil as very real, physical pain. So many of us are trapped in a cycle of suffering because we're trying to solve the wrong problem. We're trying to silence the alarm without ever looking for the fire. The first and most radical step is to stop fighting the alarm. It's time to get curious about the smoke. Step 1. Stop fighting and start listening. The first strategy is acceptance. This doesn't mean you have to like the pain. It doesn't mean you resign yourself to a life of suffering. It means you stop wasting energy fighting the reality that, right now, the pain is here. This one shift is a complete game changer. When you fight pain, your nervous system goes on high alert. You tense up, you flood your body with stress hormones, and you actually amplify the pain signals in your brain. This phenomenon is known as central sensitization, where your brain gets so good at creating pain that it gets stuck in a loop, turning the volume way up. So, how do you break that loop? You listen. This is where a practice called somatic tracking comes in. It's a form of mindfulness where you gently pay attention to a sensation without judging it. Instead of recoiling, you get curious. Where is it located? Is it sharp or dull or hot? Does it have a texture? You're not doing this to make the pain go away. You're doing it to send a new message to your brain. I am safe. Take the case of a woman we'll call Lynn, whose life was once controlled by chronic pain. She discovered the root of her suffering wasn't her body, but her fear of the pain itself. By practicing somatic tracking, she taught her brain the sensation wasn't a threat. She reframed the signal from one of danger to one of simple information. She finally had control over her pain, because it no longer had control over her. By calmly observing the sensation, you're telling your nervous system it can stand down. You're moving out of the panic, reactive part of your brain and into the calm, observational part. You're no longer a victim of the sensation. You are a witness to it. Step 2. Reframe your reality. Once you stop fighting, you can start to change your relationship with the pain. Step 2 is to reframe your reality. The story you tell yourself about your pain is often more powerful than the pain itself. Is it a life sentence or is it a lesson? A punishment or a teacher? Is it the end of your story or the start of a new chapter? This isn't just thinking positive. This is the foundation of what psychologists Richard Tedeschi and Lawrence Calhoun call post-traumatic growth, or PTG. Their research found that a surprising number of people who go through major trauma, with some studies suggesting as many as half, report positive psychological changes as a result. It's not about bouncing back to who you were before, but bouncing forward into someone stronger. People who experience PTG often report 5 key shifts. 1. A greater appreciation for life. 2. Warmer, more intimate relationships. 3. A greater sense of personal strength. 4. Recognizing new possibilities for their life. 5. And a deepening of their spiritual lives. This kind of growth doesn't happen by accident. It comes from deliberately making meaning. It's the conscious choice to look at the rubble of your life and ask, what can I build from this? Start by journaling. Ask yourself the hard questions. What is this pain teaching me about my limits? What is it showing me about what truly matters? What beliefs about myself is this experience forcing me to confront? You're not defined by what happens to you, but by the meaning you assign to it. By actively reframing your pain, you take the pen back and start writing a new ending to your story. Step 3. Rewire your brain for resilience. Your brain isn't fixed like a block of concrete. It's more like a dynamic landscape of jungle pathways. This is the principle of neuroplasticity. The paths you use most often become superhighways, while the ones you neglect become overgrown and disappear. For years, your chronic pain may have carved a deep, well-worn superhighway in your brain. Step 3 is to consciously rewire your brain for resilience by creating new pathways. How? Through consistent, intentional action. Think about someone like Delica, an illustrative example of a person trapped in a cycle of chronic pain and opioid dependence. She felt broken. But when she was introduced to the concept of neuroplasticity, she realized she had the power to change her own brain. She used tools like breathwork and meditation, which have been shown to physically alter the parts of the brain that regulate emotion and pain, like the prefrontal cortex. She also embraced the idea that movement is lotion. Instead of staying still for fear of pain, she started with gentle, consistent movement. This not only keeps the body healthy, but also sends powerful signals of safety and capability to the brain, helping to build new, non-pain pathways. And there are incredible stories like the illustrative one of a woman named Emily, who after a severe accident and 11 years of pain, applied these mind-body techniques with fierce determination and became completely pain-free. Your brain learns from what you do. Every time you choose to meditate instead of ruminate, every time you take a short walk when you don't feel like it, you are taking a machete to the jungle. You are clearing a new path. With repetition, that tiny path becomes a trail, and eventually, a new superhighway to a place of strength and well-being. Step 4. Find your purpose in the pain. This is the final and most profound step. Find your purpose in the pain. This is where your pain becomes your power. This is where the teacher's lesson graduates into your life's mission. Viktor Frankl, the psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, founded a school of therapy called logotherapy. He had already begun forming his ideas before the war, but it was his experience in concentration camps that tested and solidified his belief that a sense of meaning is central to human survival. Frankl survived 3 years in 4 different camps, including a few harrowing days at Auschwitz. From these experiences, he concluded that the prisoners who survived were not always the physically strongest, but those who held on to a sense of meaning, a reason to live. Now, it's crucial to acknowledge that survival in such horrific conditions involved immense luck and factors beyond anyone's control, a point some historians have rightly emphasized. But Frankl's key insight was about the one freedom no one can take away, the power to choose your attitude in any given set of circumstances. Frankl famously argued that suffering ceases to be suffering at the moment it finds a meaning. This is the alchemy of turning lead into gold. It's about taking the most painful experience of your life and using it to serve others. Recent studies have shown that engaging in pro-social behavior, helping others, can be a powerful strategy for mitigating your own trauma, enhancing your sense of meaning, and promoting post-traumatic growth. Look at some of the world's most inspiring figures. Malala Yousafzai was shot for defending her right to an education, and she transformed that pain into a global movement. Oprah Winfrey transcended a childhood of poverty and abuse to create a platform built on empathy and empowerment. Nick Vujicic, born without limbs, uses his story to inspire millions to overcome their own limitations. Your pain has given you a unique perspective and a deep empathy for others who are suffering. It has given you a story. The question is no longer why me, but what will I do with this? Your wound can become the very place where the light gets in, and that light isn't just for you, it's meant to be shared. conclusion, and CTA. The path from pain to power is not a straight line. It's a daily practice. It's a conscious choice. First, you stop fighting and start listening. Practice acceptance and treat your pain not as an enemy, but as a messenger. Second, you reframe your reality. You take control of the narrative and look for the seeds of growth in your suffering. Third, you rewire your brain. Through intentional practices, you build new neural pathways to resilience. And finally, you find your purpose. You transform your deepest pain into your greatest service. Pain is an inevitable part of life, but suffering can be optional. Your pain is not a life sentence, it's a curriculum. It has been your teacher, and the lessons you have learned are priceless. You have been forged in fire, and now you can be stronger in the broken places. Your story of turning pain into a teacher is waiting to be written. Share a piece of it in the comments below. What has pain taught you? Your story could be the spark of hope that someone else desperately needs to see today. Thank you for watching. If this video resonated with you, please give it a like and subscribe for more content on turning life's greatest challenges into your greatest strengths.